session. So if you're brand new, my name is DonnaG and I'm a Stamping Up demonstrator from the Scenic Rim in Queensland, and I'm coming to you live from my craft room for a morning crafty session. So hopefully many of you can join in and have a little bit of fun while I craft and show you some of our awesome, beautiful products that we have available in our mini catalog and in our annual catalog. I'm actually going back and using something out of our annual catalog this morning, just to make you realize that we still have the annual catalog and there's still some really, really beautiful things that we have in our annual catalog. So I'm a Stamping Up demonstrator in the Scenic Rim area in Queensland, Australia, and I love showing you how to create cards from the beginning to the end, step by step. So if you're brand new to this channel, please jump in, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. If you're an avid follower that follows me all the time, please chime in, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Hello, Matthew and Daryl, welcome. So this morning I'm still going to be creating with the Heartfelt Hexagon Bundle, because I am telling you, you're going to want this bundle by the end of the week after you see all of these gorgeous creations that I'm doing. Now this morning I'm actually pairing it up with a couple of different things. So I'm pairing it up with an embossing folder that comes from our annual catalog, and I'm also pairing it up with the Notes of Nature dies this morning. So what you need to realize is you can think outside the box. So you don't just necessarily have to use just that bundle. When you pair it up with other things out of our catalog, out of our range of products, it's really, really nice. You can get a totally different look by pairing it up with some other things in the catalog. So welcome everyone. I can see quite a few of you chiming in. So it takes a little while for people to get the notification that I've gone live. So as I announced on Monday morning, I'm going to come live every morning. Actually, except for Tuesday mornings, I come live Tuesday afternoons, but I'm going to be live 5 days a week. And that is a new thing that I'm going to start. 5 days a week, I'm going to jump on and create a card with you. 1 card a day for 5 days every week, and then have the weekend off and be back again on Monday morning, unless other things pop up. So, of course, other things could pop up. And if that's the case, I will actually announce and let you know an alternative time, or if I can't jump on that morning. But mostly I will be on here every morning. So probably around maybe 8 o'clock, I think might be a good time. So maybe around 8 p.m. 8 a.m. See, it's early in the morning. So for us here in Queensland, it's 8 a.m. For people in New South Wales, it's 9 a.m. So it's not so early for you guys, but it takes a little bit to get used to those time changes. I can tell you, I went home for 2 weeks over Christmas, and wow, trying to get used to that time change. And then I got used to their time. Then I came home and I was struggling when I came home. So welcome everyone. So if you didn't catch my online class last night that I did at 5 p.m., make sure you jump on over to my YouTube channel and rewatch the replay. So for that class, if you purchase $100 or more through my online store using my host code, and as you can see up in that corner up there is actually a QR code that has the host code connected with it. If you jump online and do a $100 order from now, which today's the 31st of January, so it's running from the 30th of January through to the 3rd of February. So anyone that places a $100 order or more using my monthly host code will get a kit for free to make 2 of each of those 3 cards that I created last night at 5 o'clock. So welcome everyone. I can see quite a few of you jumping in. All right. So I'm going to get started because, we don't want to be chatting here all morning. The only thing that I want to tell you is, of course, we are halfway through celebration. Can you believe celebration is the best time of the year to purchase your products and to join our Stampin' Up community. So we are halfway through it. So it runs January and February. And I can't believe that today is the last day of the first month. So we are exactly halfway through it today. So for every $90 that you purchase through our online store, you can choose a free celebration item out of our little celebration catalog. So everyone gets a little bit confused. So our celebration catalog, these are the free items that you can earn. So for every $90 you spend, you can earn something out of here. If you spend $180, you can either get 2 celebration items level 1, or you can get a level 2 item too. So there's a stamp set, and an embossing folder. The embossing folder that I used yesterday, which was called the softly sophisticated 3D embossing folder, that and a stamp set is a level 2 item. Okay, so welcome everybody. It's awesome to see how many of you are jumping in. So of course, let's get to creating. So also to what I wanted to mention is Celebration has a great joining offer as well. Now joining, you can join on all different ways. Like honestly, people say, I don't want to be a demonstrator, I don't want to demonstrate, I don't want to hold parties, and you physically don't have to actually do that. You can wholly and solely buy for yourself and enjoy a discount, or you can buy for yourself and maybe have a few crafty friends that might buy from you, and that will help you keep your quarterly amounts up to keep your discount. Or if you wanted to run it as a business, I've got you covered for that too, because I do free business training with my team as well. So they get access to my free business training, and I train on business topics every week with my team. So it's a really, really fun thing to do to join Stamping Up. And at the moment, you can get the glass mat that I'm using. It's called the Glass Mat Studio. You can actually get that for free and choose $235 worth of product, and you only pay $169. So it's a really, really awesome deal. Or if you're not into the glass mat, you can choose $51 extra of product. So you can get $286 worth of product and only pay $169. And you will be guaranteed discount until the end of July. So no matter whether you make the quarterly amount or not, you will have a discount until the end of July. So it's a pretty awesome deal. And I would love to invite you into our Wild Heart Crafters community. There's quite a few of my Wild Heart Crafters on here today, and we have a great time. It's great to be a part of a really good crafty community. All right, so let's stop gas bagging on about all of that, and let's get into the crafting, because that's what you're all here for. I know that's what you're ready and waiting for. Okay, so I'm going to use Lemon Lolly, and you may think, why is that black in there? The black is only in there for the sentiment. So we're going to use Lemon Lolly. So this is going to be a really pastel type of card with bam, there's the sentiment. So that's actually my thought process behind it. Now I am casing this from the lovely Maswari that I follow. She's a part of our Global Creative Project tutorial bundle. She did one in, I think it was Petal Pink, and I absolutely loved her design. So I'm actually casing hers and putting a bit of my own spin on it as well. All right, so you can see here I've die cut some pieces. Now they're out of the Notes of Nature, so out of this bundle. So this is the bundle that I'm actually using for my 2-day craft retreat. And just a shout out, today is the last day to register for my 2-day craft retreat in March. So if you are thinking of attending my 2-day craft retreat, you need to get in today and register, because today registration is closing for my 2-day craft retreat. All right, so I've got a card base of Lemon Lolly, and I've got that cut at my usual 5 3/4 by 8 inches, and I'm going to fold that in half and burnish it with my bone folder. Now, when I said that I was going to use some product out of, not older product, product out of our annual catalogue, I'm going to use an embossing folder. I'm going to show you where you can actually find that. So then I've got Lemon Lolly as my card base. I've got another layer of Lemon Lolly that is going to go on there. So it's going to be tone on tone. And then I've got this layer. So this one here is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. This one here is 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. So you can see it's very hard to see, but it's just a smidge smaller than that layer on the bottom. Okay. And then I'm going to use this embossing folder. Now this embossing folder comes in a pair of embossing folders. Now these are embossing folders, whoops-a-daisy, that will actually fit through our little mini machine. So they're really, really awesome embossing folders. Now you're going to ask me, what is the name of these embossing folders and where do we find them? So in our annual catalogue, they're on page 168. They are called the Elegant Eucalyptus 3D embossing folders. So item number 159170. And the Heartfelt Hexagon Bundle that I am using can be found in our mini catalogue right here on page 12. So the Heartfelt Hexagon Bundle, and it's always really good to buy your bundles in a bundle, So buy your stamp and your punch together because you save 10% on them. If you buy them separately, you're going to pay a lot more money for them separately. So it's $66.50 for the Heartfelt Hexagon punch and the stamp set. And then, of course, you may want the dies that I'm using in out of the Notes of Nature. But if you're coming to my retreat, you're going to get the Notes of Nature stamp and die set anyway. But I'm actually going to use this one here with the floral on it. Now, I have actually done it on white, but I've decided to do it on the lemon lolly. So you can see here what a gorgeous pattern that is on white. So I'm actually going to use it on this lemon lolly piece on the top. So now I want to sort of partially, well, when I say I want to partially emboss it, I want to emboss it on a bit of an angle because how I want the card front to go is on a little bit of an angle. So I sort of want to pop it in at an angle. Which way do I want it to go? Probably that way. Okay, so can you see how I'm popping my cardstock in at an angle? Because I want it to flow at a diagonal angle on there. Now, it's okay with these small ones. Of course, I can't put this through the mini cut and emboss, but I can, and I can actually put it through in the large cut and emboss. So I'm going to bring that in. And of course, these are 3D embossing folders, so I'm going to use that, and I'm actually going to use my grey number 4 plate, and we'll run that through. Now, even because it's on an angle like that, it's totally okay. It's still going to fit between the platform here, so but it's going to give me that flower embossed how I want it at that diagonal on the front of the card. Okay, so there we have our gorgeous embossed. Matthew's saying he loves a heartfelt hexagon. I'm telling you, everyone's going to fall in love with it by the end of this week because I have been using it every day. All right, so we have that there. So then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take just some Daffodil Delight because I want it a little bit darker with the colouring. I'm also going to take one of our little mini blending brushes. Now, these mini blending brushes are so super cute. And the reason why I want to use the mini one is I want to add a little bit of highlight on this background. Now, with the glass mat, we can add ink on our blending brush and add it onto our glass mat so that we can get the excess off. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just highlight bits and pieces of this embossed piece. So I just want little tiny bits and pieces. Some pieces I want to be a little bit more obvious than others, but not, I don't want it to be real even. I just wanted to put splashes of color around just to highlight that just a little bit. Okay, so you can see we've just got a few highlights in there. So nothing much, but just to bring that gorgeous embossed look up a little bit. So I used Daffodil Delight for that. Now I could have used Lemon Lolly, but Lemon Lolly probably would have been a little bit too washed out. I'm going to use my lovely chamois to remove that Lemon Lolly off my glass mat. That is why this is so awesome. So this is the joining special. So you actually get the glass mat. You also get this silicone tray that sticks to our glass mat. So see, it doesn't move. And then you get the chamois as well. So you can pop your die cuts in here. This can be used for like watercoloring and things as well. So, and it can be washable. Okay, so you can throw it in the sink and wash it and get rid of the ink out of it. But it is really, really a great thing. So you get the glass mat that I'm working on, plus that silicone mat, plus the actual chamois, all for free when you join my Wild Heart Crafters team during celebration. So that offer only lasts until the end of February. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to rough this up a little bit. So now if you're someone that likes things to be neat and tidy and all in one place, then you're probably not going to want to do this, but this is for the people that don't have the OCD. I love, love, love just with my scissors, running my scissors down and grunging it up a little bit, okay? I'm going to do that. And you know what? Even after this, I might even bring in my blending brushes again. So I wanted to showcase some of the things that the glass mat is really, really good for as well, because, I mean, the only way to get this glass mat, the physically only way to get this glass mat is to actually join my team during January or February. And then they are actually going to offer the glass mat as a saleable item, but only to demonstrators. Okay, so if you're a customer and you want this glass mat, the only way you're going to get the glass mat is to actually join Stampin' Up and get the glass mat. And if you join now, you are guaranteed the glass mat because we still have some in stock. Now, if you're a demonstrator and you're hanging out and you're hoping that you're going to get one in March, they have said that they may release them if they have enough. If they don't have enough, you're not going to be able to get one. Okay, so I've got that roughed up. Now, I think because I've roughed it up, I think I actually want to accent that roughed up edges as well. So I'm going to bring in my Daffodil Delight again, and I'm just going to blend a little bit more. So I'm just going to, once again, pop it on there. Now, you could use your ink pad and just pop your ink pad on there and pick up your ink from there. But the beauty of this is we can blend all around the edges. We don't have to have, we can pick up some more. We don't have to have a scrap piece of paper underneath us because our glass mat is actually getting all of that ink on there. Okay, and I might just do a little bit more down that side. So that's just made that a little bit more obvious so that when I actually put it on here, can you see? We're going to see that little bit of difference, okay? Now, once again, I'm going to wipe that clean and all the ink is gone. This chamois is so yummy. I mean, our chamois that we had before is a lot thicker than this, and the fine detail of this chamois is just gorgeous. All right, so we've got that happening there. Now, the next thing that I wanted to do, I had a black piece of cardstock. Where did I put the black, people? I took it out of the way, and now I don't know what I did with it, but I will just grab another piece if I can't. Oh, there it is. It's on the ground. Okay, so when I can't find something, ask me to look on the ground because that's where it is. All right. So now I'm actually going to bring in my embossing additions toolkit. Okay, so with this, I'm going to emboss in white on this black. So if you have not heat embossed before, I am telling you, this is the bomb of card making. I am telling you, it is the most fun thing that you will do in all of your crafting. Okay, so I'm using the embossing buddy. So what the embossing buddy is, it's a little pillow that's filled with a powder. And what it does is it removes static from our cardstock, and it also removes any oil prints that we may have had with our fingers. So it removes anything that may have been built up on our cardstock. So now I'm going to grab some Versamark ink, and I'm going to ink up this sentiment, sending you lots of love. So I'm going to ink up that sentiment, and I'm going to stamp it down here. And I'm also going to ink up. Actually, no, I'm going to emboss that first, and then I'm going to ink up the next bit because I want to be able to stamp over that sentiment. So I want to be able to see it. Now, what we do is we pop our cardstock in here. We grab our white embossing powder. So we've used our Versamark ink, which is a white sticky ink. A clear sticky ink. We're now using our white embossing powder. So we've got a handy dandy pair of tongs that we can pick up, tweezers. We can pick up our cardstock. Now, the reason that we are doing the embossing buddy is to make sure that we don't have any white embossing powder on there anywhere that we don't want it to be. Because once you hit it with the heat, it will actually stick onto the cardstock. So you definitely want to make sure that you've got all your little bits and pieces of white brushed away. That's what this handy dandy little brush is for. So the Embossing Additions Toolkit is a fantastic thing to have in your craft room. And I was just talking to, I think Dell is on here today. I was just talking to Dell yesterday about the Additions Toolkit and how awesome it is to have it in your craft room. And I'm thinking about getting a separate one and just using one for white and using the other one for the others. Can you ask, how do you get the powder look residue off the coloured cardstock after you've heated the embossing powder? Okay, Daryl, so I just answered that question. So Daryl's asked a really good question here. Can I ask you, how do you get the powder look residue off the cardstock after you've heated the embossing? Now, if you're saying on black, how do you get that powdery look off it? Then my suggestion would just be to wipe it with a nice dry cloth. So wipe it with, say, like a paper towel and just wipe it like that. You could, if you wanted to, lightly, gently wipe it with a baby wipe if you wanted to do that. But honestly, I just find a dry cloth and just dust it off. It'll be fine. At the time that you're doing it, you want it to be dusty because you want it to make sure that it's doing the job. And then when you're finished, just a dry cloth, wipe it over and it will be fine. Okay, so now I'm going to heat with my heat gun. So I always heat from underneath, because I find heating from underneath is the best way, because heat will actually curl your cardstock, and I like my cardstock to curl down and under, not up and over, okay? Plus it doesn't blow any of your embossing powder around, so I find it really good. Now our heat tool has 2 heat settings. One is for just drying. The next one is for heating and doing heat embossing. So number 2 is what we use. I just hold it underneath my cardstock and you will see when the embossing powder melts into the Versamark, there we go, it goes super, super white. Now, if you are looking to do white sentiments on black cardstock, I am telling you that heat embossing is really the only way to go. Because if you're trying to do it any other way, even if you use, we have white craft ink, even if you use our white craft ink, honestly, it just gives you that chalkboard look. It won't give you a definite white look. Where with heat embossing, you will get that definite good white look all the time. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Nice for you to join. So Lisa is the Stamping Zoo. She's from overseas watching us. Okay, so now I'm going to ink up. I'm going to hopefully ink up and line this hexagon up over that sentiment. I probably should have done it the other way and actually done the sentiment first, but it'll be okay. We will get there. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that down right there. Okay. So we've done that. We're then going to pop that back into our embossing powder again. Okay, we're going to flick off the excess. We're going to brush off any of the excess. So if there's any excess that we don't want, there's some right there that we don't really, really want. Hopefully I can get it. Okay, it's a little bit spoiled there, but okay, so we're then going to heat that again. Now, if there's any specks of white that is left on there, you will find that they will actually stay on there, okay, once you've heated. So once you've heated, it will actually stick to your cardstock. So the best thing to do is to try and get it off as much as you possibly can. We're going to heat that again. Sue, I just read your comment, Sue. Sue said, "Good morning, Donna. You have nearly convinced me to buy the Hexagon Bundle." I'm telling you, Sue, by the end of the week, you're going to have it on your list. You're going to have it in your shopping cart. All right, so we're just going to heat that and get that done all the way around the outside. All right, so we have that. I'm going to wait for that to cool off. Now, what I wanted to show you with the embossing powder, you then pile it all into the corner. You grab your little container, you undo this little bit off here, and you tip it all into your container. Okay, so that's honestly the reason why I love, love, love this tray, is for collecting it and making sure that you put it all back into your container. Now, and then normally what I do is I like to just wipe off my desk. If there's any on there whatsoever, wipe it off so that you're not working in a dusty mess. Sometimes with embossing powders, it feels very gritty on your desk and sandy, like you've been at the beach. And we don't want that feeling. So, and then what I do with all these tools, I just pop them all back into my embossing tray. Even with my Versamark ink, pop it all back in there. And then the next time that I go to heat emboss, it's all in my tray, ready to go. So it is honestly a lifesaver. All right, so now we're going to bring in this. I want to, let's wipe that off again. I want to make sure that I bring in some of the front to the inside. So I'm just going to, with the stamped pieces here, I'm just going to use my Daffodil Delight. Okay, and I'm just going to create some little pieces there. Then I'm going to bring in my lemon lolly, and I'm going to use the little flower, and we'll do some lemon lolly. So this is where you can see the lemon lolly compared to the Daffodil Delight. The Daffodil Delight, you're really, it's a lot darker color. The lemon lolly is a lot lighter. Okay. I'm the best enabler, you know. Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you know, it is my job. And you know, we could be spending our money on worse things, as far as I'm concerned. So it's not too bad that we're spending it on crafting products. All right. So now I'm going to cut that with my punch, which you would think I would. There it is. I was going to say you'd think I'd know where my punch is. All right, so we are actually going to pop that into our hexagon punch and punch that one out. Okay, so we have that. Now it's time to assemble this gorgeous card. So let's bring in our card base and we will pop our insert inside. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Lisa said that she's happy to see me getting inky and she shared it into her page for her team. All right, so we are going to pop that on the inside there. Okay, so we've got our insert done because we don't want naked cards. We talked about that yesterday. No one wants nudie cards. We don't need nudie inserts on cards. All right, so this one here, I'm actually going to, assemble everything first, and then I think I'm going to pop it onto that one. So let's leave that aside. So let's assemble this first. So I've got this here, and you might be thinking, whoa, that looks kind of crazy. But when you see what I'm going to do underneath it, you will understand. All right, so what I actually wanted to do is I want to do a nice big bow. So I'm using the gold and silver ribbon combo that we have in our, I think they're in our online exclusives. Okay, so I want to do a big gold bow because I want that bow to come in and sit in underneath this sentiment here. But then I'm going to bring in these gorgeous pieces. We're going to do a little bit of a dry run of what I can pop in around under here. So I've got lemon ones of these. I've got white ones. I've got that nice little flower, that leaf in behind. So these are all out of the, actually, I'm going to do white in there. And then I'm going to do this little lemon one, I think, in there, which I think looks quite cute. Okay, let's cut this bow off because we're definitely going to use the bow. And then I want to pop some coming in down through here. So I want a fair bit of it up through the top, but I also want some coming down through here. So we've got that. I've got some other white pieces. We might do a lemon one coming down through there as well. And we might do a bit of white coming through here. There. I've got all these die cut pieces, so I may as well use them. There. Maybe a lemon one coming down through there. Whoop. So remember, this is a dry run. I always like to do a dry run first so you can see what it's going to look like. Okay, so we've got that. See, that's starting to look really, really pretty. Let's probably pop a nice little leaf down in underneath there. No, I'm going to pop that leaf up under here. So that's just a vellum leaf. I'm going to pop it in underneath that first one. There. Yeah. All right. I think that's going to look quite pretty. What do you think? You can definitely see the bow. Definitely use the bow. Yes, I definitely think it needs the bow. All right, so what I think is really, really good to do here is we can actually use our glass mat here and we can glue these pieces together in an arrangement on our glass mat. So what I'm going to do is here you can see I've got those two vellum ones. So I'm just going to glue the two vellum ones together with a little bit of glue here on my glass mat. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue just there and glue that one onto there. Okay, so we've got the double leaf happening there. Then that gives us a platform to be able to glue these ones on. So I'm going to glue a white one on. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue like that. Then, of course, the lemon. Actually, no, we had two white ones up there, didn't we? Yep. So let's do the other white one. The other white one. There. Then we might do these lemon ones. We've got one poking up through there. And another little lemon one. Can go just there. Okay, so that's going to be what is behind that sentiment there. Okay, so we've built it all here on our glass mat. I did actually have that lemon. I could actually put that lemon in behind. Oh, yes. Okay, so the lemon's going to go in behind. So I'm going to add some glue on the front of that lemon and then pop it in behind there like that. Okay, so as you can see, I've got all of that designed. Just going to wipe a bit of that glue off my glass mat. All of that designed, ready to go in behind my sentiment. So I can actually just use a little bit of Seal Plus on behind there, which is there. And we can add that on behind our black sentiment like that. Okay, so we have that. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to arrange these pieces for down in the bottom part. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have those two there like that. So I might just, with the two leaves here, join the two leaves together like so. Okay. And then, of course, I'm going to sit this one on top of that white one. Then, of course, the white one in on top of the lemon lolly. You're joking, read the bow? I'm not joking. I'm definitely going to use the bow. Okay, so we have that like that. Then, of course, we want that to be down in here as well. And we also want our bow to sit. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue my bow on first. So let's do that here. So we want our bow to sit just there on that corner. Okay. And then, of course, we're going to sit this in underneath. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that up and then I'm going to pop that in under there. So let's get some dimensionals onto that. So you can see we can use this glass mat for so many different things, being able to build all of that foliage, being able to build that and be able to build it directly onto the glass mat and then pick it up. Okay, so I'm just going to put a dimensional just over the top of that bow so that it holds our bow in place. And I might actually put another dimensional just there. Okay. Now, before we sit this on, we are going to have to glue this piece in here. Okay, so we're going to sit that there, and that piece is going to glue in there. So that's looking really pretty. Let's just put a dab of glue underneath here and glue that in. So there, like that, and like that. Yeah, very good. Okay, so now we can take the backings off this. So I think the bow makes it. Now, come on, everybody. Let's chime in and let's see. Sue reckons that she's going to make this card, but minus the bow. Now, who thinks that the bow really, really makes it on the front? Who would make the card without the bow? Let me see. No, sorry, Sue. It's your card. You can do what you like. Whatever you want to do. Okay, so we have that there like that. Kay said she's got to have bows. See? Kay's my team member, so of course she's got to have bows because she's been a part of my team and we're all used to bows. All right, so we have that. Then, of course, I'm going to wipe my mat because I've got a bit of glue all on my mat, so I want to wipe that. Isn't that awesome? You wipe your mat clean, bam, you have a beautiful clean desk. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to pop that one up on dimensionals as well, because just to define the difference between that that tone-on-tone layer. So if I pop it up, adds a little bit of dimension in behind, and it will actually make the layer stand out a little bit more. All right, so we've got our dimensionals on there. We will use my handy dandy take your pick. I wouldn't put a bow on the card. I might wrap the ribbon around the area and the hexagon, but just as a soft accent. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I've missed a dimensional down the bottom there. Let's put one on because I can't have the bottom like that. We'll put one on there. I was probably too busy reading comments. All right, so we are going to adhere that onto that lemon lolly layer. So can you see how that just makes it stand out a little bit more that you've actually popped it onto that layer? Jeanette, we all need a little bling or sparkle. Carol said she likes the bow but a tad smaller would suit her. Christine says bow. All right, so then we're going to adhere that onto the front of the card. Now, the black sentiment is just really striking. It really makes everything else look nice and soft, but the black sentiment really stands out. Now, of course, yesterday I used my favorite embellishments, and I'm going to bring them out again today. The festive pearls. I tell you what, I've really got my money's worth out of these festive pearls. So I'm just going to pop a couple of festive pearls in and around that arrangement there like that, and maybe one just up in there. And then, of course, to finish it off, a spritzing of Wink of Stella. If I can find my Wink, there it is. A spritzing of our Wink. There we go. And we will wink it up. And I could probably colour in those little flowers and move a little bit of that lemon lolly ink around as well. There you go. So there is my card this morning. Now, as I said, it is cased off a gorgeous design that Maswari did out of our Global Creative tutorial bundle. And she is absolutely such a stunning crafter. And she's actually been named as a member of our Stampin' Up! Artisan team as well. So she does some gorgeous designs. So you need to go and look her up. She's from Melbourne, Victoria, and she's an absolutely gorgeous crafter. And so I've actually cased that very similar off hers that she did. I think she did a petal pink one, was her one that she did. So, and you can see that shimmer and shine. Look how gorgeous that just creates the front of the card. So there you go. That is my crafty session for today, using the Heartfelt Hexagon Punch and the 3D Eucalyptus embossing folders. So they're in our annual catalogue. So don't forget, there is some gorgeous things that we have in the annual catalogue as well. So sometimes it's nice to go back and revisit that beautiful annual catalogue that we have. I know we get all caught up with all the gorgeous new things that we have, but it's really nice to sometimes go back and visit and use some of those gorgeous things that we have in the annual catalogue. So I will be seeing you all again tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. in the morning for another crafty session, bringing you another card. So I'm actually enjoying this going live every day. So let's see if I can keep it up. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't forget that joining offer. So you can get the Glass Mat Studio and choose $235 worth of product and only pay $169. The die cuts are from the Notes of Nature. So Karen, the Notes of Nature bundle, and that's the bundle that I'm doing for retreat this year in March. But yeah, that's where all the die cuts come from that gorgeous set. So anyone that's attending retreat is going to get that bundle for free as part of their goodie bag when they attend retreat. So last day to register for my 2-day craft retreat in March as well. So thank you, everyone. And until next time, I will see you all again.